All right, I have Coach Paul and Cynthia in studio with me this morning. And first of all, it's a pleasure to have you both here. Coach, we've only been chatting on WhatsApp. And I still don't have 100% clarity of what it is you're doing. All I know is you're transforming people's lives by creating opportunities for these people that they find within themselves. And if I've gotten that wrong, tell me. But I feel like that's what you're doing. So it's like sort of a self-transformation. But maybe first and foremost, Coach Paul and Cynthia, just tell us exactly who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into why you do it.
Thank you very much, Fareed, for having us. First and foremost, my name is Coach Paul, better known as Paul Mugambi, according to what is on the ID. And I have here a mentor who's also been with me in the hospitality industry. So that's my background. And that's one of the reasons why I also got in touch with her when she told me about this opportunity. Because in the hospitality industry, just in the middle of COVID, a lot of things were going wrong. And one of them was we were losing our jobs. So what do you do after that? She told me about a solution offered in the telecom industry. That's Virtual AVS. And now we got started about a year ago now. Yeah.
So, Cynthia, what is Virtual AVS?
Okay, Virtual AVS stands for Vending Airtime Software. In nutshell, it's an app found on mobile app or mobile phone. And that's what you're using to earn or monetize airtime and earn money through monetizing airtime.
Okay. Yeah. How do you monetize that airtime? How does that work?
Okay, it's a mobile app where you download, you sign in, and you recommend. Because through recommending, that's when you build your team, your Salesforce team. And through that, you empower and you share this information, and people get empowered and they earn an income. That is passive income.
Okay.
Yes.
So you talk about this passive income and generation of income for people who... There are obviously people whose lives have changed because of this.
Yeah.
Who are these people, and where were they, and where are they now using Virtual AVS?
So I'll use my own example. I think it's always good to tell your own story. In the midst of the pandemic, I was actually employed by, my last employer was one of the hotels in Nairobi, Kenya, and they have about 6 of them. So I was a trainer in all 6 of them. Unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, they don't have a way to be able to pay you anymore. So I have to look for a solution. The solution was looking for a way to turn my expenses, the same expenses that you spend on your electricity bill, your airtime bill, things like that. It's quite diverse right now. Turn them into money that is called cash back. So you spend about 100 shillings, perhaps 1,000 bob. Can 5% come back? Can 0.5% come back? Eventually, that's income that you can use. And anybody else who signs up on the app has to use something called an upline number. So that means maybe, for example, I have a mobile phone, I download the app, I buy my license. If Fareed uses my mobile number to register, that means they fall under my team. So eventually I can form an income also from other people's expenses.
And this is obviously new technology to a degree.
Yeah.
You talk about the app itself. How important is it for people to understand? Because this can also look, I mean, and forgive me for being crass, like a scam in a way, right?
Yeah,
the way you're selling. So how important is it for people to understand this is something that is legitimate, that is not something that you're going to go broke from, but rather going to, because I'm sure those questions come up when you're talking about it, and something that actually does work.
Yeah. What happened is that every single time somebody asks me about the app, I get them to test it. Because there's only one way to find out if something works. Put it to the microphone and test it. Now, from whatever it is that we download the app from, you get your app from Play Store and you buy your first airtime float, you can get paid from that in itself. When you get paid, that's proof enough that there's a communication that has happened between the app and, of course, the vendor. After the vendor has you've bought airtime from the vendor, it's delivered airtime to a certain mobile number. That transaction through technology is something that is new to people, but it's helping them to be able to make money from it. That is proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, because it's all digitally done and done via apps, it's trackable anyway.
Yes, you have a receipt that comes into your email address. So you can be able to even track from the very first day you downloaded the app and you bought your license, the first airtime commission you got, or maybe your electricity bill that you're paying for, whatever it is that you're doing as a transaction, you have a history of events on the app and on email.
Okay, so give me an example of someone whose life has changed besides yours.
Perhaps I can talk about someone who I recently met. Her name is Tessie Mudenya. Now, the reason I met her is because I was watching the news in the evening on one of the media stations, and I saw someone who is selling bags in the streets. And she said, you know what, this is all I can do right now, and I can get about $300, but that's about $3 per day. Now I have an 8-month-old baby, and I've just been kicked out of my house. So I thought, what can I do to help this person? Very next day, I took Cynthia with me, and we went outside one of these supermarkets. It's right here in town, and I got Tessie to come to our office. It's in Kimathi House, office 507. She came at 1 o'clock. We usually do a presentation just like today on Friday. And she listened to the presentation. So what I did, I said, I'm going to try and contribute and buy your own license. When I buy your license, I want to get people like Fareed, for example, who have a big mouth and they can be able to they can tell the world what's happening at Virtual AVS. When you do that, whatever is happening on Virtual AVS as far as Tessie is concerned, is that now she doesn't have to think about losing a home, but she can be able to save up for a home by December this year.
Never have to worry about being kicked out again.
Never have to worry about her kid not going to school, because I mean, she spends time on the streets with her kid selling the same bags. How long can she do that? So I want her to be able to transform that. So I took it upon myself to try. I don't know her, but I said, you know what, strangers make the best friends.
Sure.
And I started with her, and I say, let's start with her. So I get her a license, and I get somebody else who's most influential right here in Kenya. People have a very interesting way of communicating on social media. Just get people involved, and then you'll see, instead of us contributing to endless campaigns, just do one transaction that will change the lives of many people.
Okay, so you can, just to go back a bit, that's a wonderful story, by the way, and I'm hoping Tessie's doing very well now, or at least better than she was by selling bags on the street, which is not, with a child, is not an ideal way to make an income. You're saying, just explain to me again, all your bills that you normally pay anyway, you will get cash back.
Yes.
What is the benefit to the person who's charging you for that bill? So if I'm KPLC, for example, and you're paying me 10,000 shillings a month for your electricity at home, what is my benefit? Or it doesn't affect my bottom line at all?
Well, there's an interesting thing actually about Virtual AVS. They're actually planning to do 347 service providers.
Wow.
Now, we're not just talking about airtime providers, we're talking about people in insurance. We're talking about electricity bill. We're talking about your water bill. You open a tap in Ghana and somebody is getting paid in Ghana. I'm getting paid for my team in Ghana. You open maybe a bill when it comes to cable TV, DSTV, and things like that. So I pay for my bill. That same vendor, or you can call him a company who's actually selling the service, I can be able to get them to get more customers, because the more people who are subscribing to Virtual AVS means I'm increasing the number of customers coming to you. Eventually, if my expenses are less than what I am earning, it means Virtual AVS is footing my bill. If I'm footing my bill, it means I'll be able to actually spend more. Maybe I upgrade my DSTV, I upgrade my cable TV.
A premium subscriber.
So if I'm making more money for you, who's the vendor, it means you'll be very hungry to bring other people on board to join us in the same journey. So both parties are benefiting, the users and the service providers.
It almost sounds like a free lunch. First time in history there's actually a free lunch. How do I get involved?
So the first thing you do is just download the app. And of course, you go ahead and register your free customer account. Test it out. See if it works, because it will. Once you buy your airtime or whatever is activated in your country, we've done 31 countries so far in less than 2 years.
That's wonderful.
So we're going to 100 countries. If you do it and it makes sense to you, get your business license and go ahead and upgrade, because upgrading actually is the secret of the passive income.
Sure.
That's the biggest one, and if anybody wants to find out, just call and find out.
Okay, numbers we can call?
Yes. My name is Coach Paul. My number is 0705 683 002. Cynthia can also talk on her.
And mine, Cynthia, 0725 310071.
And of course, we have an office here in Kimathi House. 507 is the floor, is 5. And then, of course, you come to office 507. Free training, no charges. Just get the awareness out there and make sure people know what's happening. We have a solution, and that solution is going to change the whole conversation. We focus too much time on politics and stuff that is happening.
Agreed.
That's negative, Ukraine, all that stuff. Why don't we change that conversation to something positive, changing lives?
Perfect. All right, guys, thanks for coming in, and I'm gonna download the app now.
Yes,
Thank
please
you.
do.
Thank
We
you.
want to start, like we said, with somebody who can make a difference. So it's just, I mean, imagine you have an audience of about 5,000 followers, 10,000, 48,000 followers. Did you know that you can actually make 1 million bob in the same day?
That's insane.
So that's what we want to do. If that same person is doing that, imagine who you've supported.
Yeah,
They can change their lives in about a week.
it's the chain, really, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, it's
A whole
everyone.
network, just like this mobile network subscribers, they sell all these SIM cards so that they can create a huge network. They get paid even a shilling, 2 shillings from all of these subscribers. That's how the money is made in the telecom industry.
Awesome. Download
you.
it now, Virtual AVS and Kimathi Street, floor 5, office 507. Give me those numbers again.
0705 683002.
0725 310071.
Perfect.
Introducing to you Virtual AVS, a company that allows you to earn money from the airtime you load and airtime loaded by anyone in your team across 100 countries worldwide.
And it's done.
Join one of our Virtual AVS presentations during the week, 4 p.m. East Africa time and 10 p.m. East Africa time, and get to understand how the business works. Because once you do, you will not hesitate to make a decision.